from Shanty Road University Studios. This is Life Lessons with the Legend, Bobby Lee Jordan. I'm coming to you tonight. We've been talking some heavy stuff for a couple weeks. I want to share a real life lesson that I learned, and really I could kick myself for learning it too late. I'm going to tell you a story about a saw. I borrowed my daddy's saw. I was down in Paisley. My daddy, of course, was in Kannapolis. And I had this hand saw. And I'm trying to saw some 2x4s. It was wet wood. I had Betty holding down one end, and I'm sawing, and the saws were wong like that. And I was just all aggravated and frustrated. I was younger then, and crazy. I hadn't always been the wise, gentle soul that I am today, but I was young and crazy. And I took that saw, because I couldn't saw a 2x4 it was wet. And I took that saw and I threw it just as far as I could. And kind of frightened Betty a little bit. She kind of backed away. I wasn't mad with her. I was just frustrated. So I went over and picked up the saw and I beat it against a tree, taking my frustration out. Then I took it and threw the saw in the garbage can. I'm done with it. So in a week or so, I went to Lowe's in Monroe and I bought 2 hand saws. Got me a brand new hand saw. I got my daddy a brand new hand saw. So I go to Kannapolis, I take it to him, he's sitting there in the den, and I walk in and I say, Dad, here's your brand new hand saw. I was all proud of myself because I'm doing something for my daddy. Here's your brand new hand saw. He said, where's my old one? I said, oh, it wasn't no good, Daddy. I threw it away. He said, well, I want my old one. I said, well, it's gone. I threw it away, Daddy. It wasn't no good. He said, well, that had a lot of sentimental value to me. And I said to him, I looked at him, I'm just in awe. I said, I have got to hear how a hand saw could have sentimental value. And I told him, I said, tell me that. He said, well, that was my daddy's saw. And I felt this big. I could have crawled under the floor. I felt so bad about it. However, I never knew that was my grandpa's saw. If I had known that, I would have cherished it and hung on to it, and I would still have it today. But too little, too late, I guess. So the point of all of this is, if you have, don't keep every pile of junk you get from your grandparents and your mom and your daddy to pass on every little scrap of junk they give you. But keep something. Keep one thing for sentimental value. Hold it, cherish it. It means something to you. Be sure and let your kids know what it means to you, that you value it and why. And you can talk about family. That gets a good conversation starter. The kids need to know about their parents, their grandparents, their great-grandparents, if you know the story. So keep those kind of things in mind. Don't be as dumb as I was. Hang on to those memories. And that's all we have to pass along. I hope that you'll understand what I'm talking about. I tried to make it up to my daddy. I took his old lawnmower and I had it fixed up and I had it painted and new motor put on it and all that. And I took it to him and I said, look here, Dad, got your brand new, your lawnmower fixed up, like brand new. Looks better than it was brand new. And he had bought that lawnmower the year before I was born. 1952 he bought it. And we still had it. It was heavy, but it was a good mower, old Edelman mower. He looked at me like I was crazy when I took him that lawnmower because he was not going to push that lawnmower. And I told him, well, it's just a conversation starter with your old buddies come around and y'all can look at that lawnmower and tell stories about cutting grass and old times and how much stuff cost back in the 50s and 40s and all that kind of stuff. Just having a little fun with it. But I was a little underwhelmed by how underwhelmed my dad was about that lawnmower. I spent a lot of money on it. So don't try to get guilty and make up for your ignorance like I did. Learn to cherish a few important possessions in your family. Anybody have any questions? No questions, good. Until I see you again, y'all act like you got some sense.